Alright, today let's look at standard deviation. So this is a topic under statistics. So a number of times, right, what we can do with standard deviation is to find the mean and standard deviation. And to make it easy, of course, is the calculator method. Alright, so I'm going to show you how we can use the calculator method for this. So let me just draw out the calculator. Alright, so from here, right, you see that I have a question, right? So it's actually taken from one of the exam papers. And you notice that this is actually a group data. So what you notice is that I have actually found the mid value. All right. So between 15 and 20. So how to find the mid value, right? So this one here is actually what we call the mid value. Okay. So 15 plus 20 will give you 35. So 35 divided by 2 is 17.5. So basically it's the middle value between this range here. All right. So what I've done is that for this whole table here, right, I've actually found the mid value. Now, why I want to find the mid value, right, is because we wouldn't know whether to use 15 or 20, right? So the best is to use the value that's in the middle for that group data, all right? So now for this question here, we are going to look at the mean age and standard deviation for male participants. So I'm going to show you how to use the calculator to set it up first. So we're going to look at the mid value and also this part here, which is actually your frequency. All right, so let's draw the calculator again. So some of you may actually have a different version of this, but basically the setup is roughly the same. So to set it up and make sure that your frequency mode is on, you can press Shift Mode. All right, I repeat. So you see the Shift key here, all right? Shift, and you see the Mode key here. Press the Mode, and you won't see anything that says statistics here, so you have to press the down button. All right. Now, when you press the down button, which is down here, you will see number 4 that says statistics. Okay, so you press 4, and they will ask you, do you want to switch on the frequency or not? So we will just keep it on all the time. So you can press 1, and you won't see anything happening, but your frequency is actually there. All right. So how do we start keying this data? So now don't press the shift key. You just go to mode straight away, right? Press on mode and you will see statistics. So yours may be a bit different, but by and large, you should see an option that says statistics here. So for my calculator here is actually number 3. So I'm going to press 3 and you have various options. All right. Now the one that we're going to use is called 1 VAR. So one variable. So we're going to choose 1 VAR. So we press 1. Now this is where you'll see that you have the X and the frequency. So for this group data here, right, our X will be all the mid value. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to key in all the mid value first. All right, so I have 17.5, press enter, then I have 22.5. I'm just going to put all the mid values first, then I will change the frequency. All right, then I have 27.5, then I have 32.5, then I have 37.5, and lastly I have 42.5. Okay, so I've done with the X value. So now let's change the frequency, because of course the frequency is not 1 for all of them, right? So you can press the right button and scroll up. Okay, so for 17.5 the frequency is actually 2, so you press 2. Then the next one here is actually 4, then 6, then 9, then 5, and then finally you have 4. Right? Now, once you've keyed it in, right, it is actually safe to press the AC button. It just clears the screen, but your data has been stored. All right, so you can press the AC button. Now, for the exam, right, you will notice that they actually will have the formula given for you. So this is the mean and this is the standard deviation. Now, if there is no need to show any working, it's just a 1-mark question, we can just get the mean and standard deviation straight away. Okay, so how do we do that, right? Now, if you look very carefully, right, your calculator, behind the number 1 key, there's this thing that says stats, okay? So how to get that out, right? You press the shift key and you press 1. Then it will come to this screen here, all right? I'm going to do it once more, okay? Press shift and 1. So you will have a few options. So we're going to look for VAR, all right? So look for number 4, And there are 4 here. The only 2 that we're interested in is number 2 and number 3. Number 2 is actually the mean. Number 3 is the standard deviation. So to get the mean, right, you just press number 2 equals, so this is the mean, right, 31.3. Okay, so I'm just going to write it at the side here first. Okay, so the mean, okay, sorry. Right, so I'm just going to write the mean, x bar equals to 31.3. Okay, later on I'm going to show you how to use the formula. Okay, then going back, we're going to find the standard deviation. So let me just clear the thing again. Shift 1, VAR again. And this time we're going to pick number 3 for your standard deviation. Alright, so this will be a standard deviation, press equals. So you get it as 7.03 character 3 SF. Alright, so we have standard deviation to 7.03. Alright, so if you want to use the formula, right, so how do we actually get this value here? Okay, this summation x here. So your calculator actually has it as well. So what we can do is that if you really need to show the summation x, right, we can go to shift 1 and you see this one that says sum, right, number 3. Do you see the one with the square and without? So for the mean here, right, it's actually the one without. Alright, so you can choose number 2 equals, then you see that the sum here, right, is actually 940. Alright, so if we were to use a formula, so mean equals to 940 over 30 male participants. So even if you calculate manually, right, you should be able to get the same answer, which is 31.3. Alright, so what about the standard deviation? You notice that there's a sum x squared. Alright, so if we were to use this one here, right, okay, so how do we get the value there? Okay, so same thing. Let's go and clear the screen first. We go to shift 1. Again, we go to sum, number 3 here. And we will have the x squared. You see that? Summation x squared, right? So we press number 1, equal sign. So this is your sum x squared. So it's 30937.5. Okay, so 30937.5. So the total for summation f is actually the total. This is the one. Now, this one is actually, right, the mean. Okay, which you have already found. So you may just want to write, okay, maybe I write 940 over 30. Okay, so that to make it more exact. Then if you do calculate this manually, right, you should also be able to get 7.03. But of course, the better way is actually to just use a calculator and to be able to get the standard deviation correct to 3SF as just 7.03. Alright, so this is actually how you use the calculator method to find your mean and standard deviation, including summation of x and summation of x squared.